Chef Creators. Today we're going to talk about feeding our bodies what they need to be healthy. We have heard that we can heal ourselves and keep ourselves healthy through nutrition. We all have heard that we are what we eat. We all know this, but let's discuss it so we can remind ourselves and we can motivate ourselves to stick to a healthy plan. Why do people get sick in the first place? Why do we accept that it's in our genes to get certain illnesses? Why do we believe that illness is inevitable as we age? People take supplements to be well. People exercise to be well. People seek to lower their stress. Is this what we should be doing? Will these things give us excellent health? We've all read books about nutrition. We've listened to doctors. We've listened to fitness professionals. We're told that we get sick because our bodies are constantly getting irritations from some form and is responding to it. Whether it's irritations from our environment, irritations from chemicals, irritations from our food supply that are sprayed and filled with all herbicides and insecticides, or is it that the soil doesn't have the nutrients it once did? Or are we eating the wrong foods that are irritating our bodies over a long period of time? How can we remove these irritants so that our blood vessels, our gut, our bones, our brains, our hearts will be well? How can we remove these sources of inflammation? Well, we have to learn the most we can to keep ourselves healthy. I've been reading a book by Stephen Gundry. He's written many books. This one, it's not a new book. It's called The Plant Paradox. He also has the energy paradox. There are many, but I've been reading it, and he has a whole list of foods that we should eat and we should not eat to keep our gut healthy. And apparently, if we have leaky gut, we will attract illnesses to us. And if we have a healthy gut, we will be disease-free. Well, what if that's true? I thought I'd share that with you because I'm amazed about what I have read in this book. Apparently, there are foods that are not good for us, that irritate our gut and that cause illness. So he talks about gut bacteria, and he wrote a lot of books about it. And he talks about foods that will keep our gut lining healthy and that will take care of the good bacteria in our bodies that keep us healthy. See, we learned how to eat from our parents probably. And our lifestyle routines we learned from our parents. So if they had diabetes, we think, oh, it runs in the family, but maybe it's because we're eating the way they eat. If high blood pressure runs in the family, or coronary heart disease, or cancers, we think it's in the genes. And that is true. We have read and heard that our genes are predisposed to certain illnesses, but we may be activating them by what we eat. If maybe that's possible. Maybe we're eating the foods that they ate and we're engaging in the same lifestyles, but we don't have to succumb to the same fate. We don't have to. We've heard, oh, there's an Alzheimer's gene. My mother died of that. My father had dementia. I don't want to think that I have no choice but to succumb to these diseases. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and I'm sure you want to too. Our food choices, our environment are just as important. Our decisions are key. Can we reverse illness by diet? By eating vegetables, by eating fiber, by eliminating gluten, by eliminating grains and oats and legumes, as Dr. Gundry says, by cutting down on sugar. What is the answer? We have heard of people who have cured themselves of disease by diet or by reducing stress or other tactics and strategies. Even Dr. Gundry in this book even says that when you look at your poop, it reveals how well and how healthy you are and how your gut bacteria is doing. We're told that this gut bacteria is super important. We need this gut bacteria to keep our gut healthy. We can study this, but we don't need to be microbiologists. We can do some things to take care of our health. We've heard that some people are having success with restricted eating. For example, not eating after a certain time, or letting 16 hours go by before they eat again. For example, you have dinner and then don't eat until 16 hours later the next day, or limit the number of hours you eat in a day. We can explore this. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do or me what to do. I'm just going to try things and learn it, and you can do it too. I'm trying to just inspire you to think about these things. Is it possible to de-age? Your age is your microbiome. As it changes, your gut health changes, we're told. We're told that our gut is only 1 cell thick, and it's like a hose, and it's meant to be impermeable to bad substances, and it has to keep out the bad substances. But when we eat bad food, it pokes holes in that gut lining, and then those bad foods get in and wreak havoc on our systems, because you have an immune system that's ready, like an army, to protect you. But if we have holes in our gut because of the foods we eat, then we are not protected, and we have what's called a leaky gut. I'm not a doctor. I can't explain it well. You can read up on this stuff. But if the wall is intact, you're healthy. If it's leaky, apparently disease begins. So let's heal our guts. Anyone with an autoimmune disease, we're told, Stephen Gundry says, has a leaky gut. What if this is true? He says, if we have any disease, as a matter of fact, we have a leaky gut. Well, imagine. He talks about lectins in foods. Plants have a defense system where they produce these lectins, these little proteins, and they're irritants, and they break the junctions that hold our gut together. The plant does this to protect itself from predators. And when we eat certain foods, they have toxins and poisons in them, and those things make us sick. Now, some people don't think they have leaky gut, don't think they have gluten intolerance or whatever, but things like feeling tired, having joints that ache, having inflammation, having sinus problems are because we are reacting to certain foods that we're eating. So let's heal ourselves. He has in this book, it's called The Plant Paradox. He has in here lists of foods to say yes to and foods to say no to, because they have lectin. And you can read up all the details of why. But these things surprised me. So what I'm taking away from this is limit grains, oats, things like that. I would limit them. It's hard to eliminate them completely, but see how your body reacts. So many foods here we could eat in the vegetables and fruit category, but apparently the refined starches, things flour-based, legumes, things in a pod are to avoid. Certain nuts and seeds, and things that are fruits I thought were good for you, like cucumber, zucchini, pumpkin, squash, I guess limit them. They're irritating because they have lectins. Another thing that really surprised me was that tomatoes have lectins and are irritating to our gut lining. For example, I remember now that Dr. Gundry mentioned it in the book, that my mother used to use this contraption. She called it in Sicilian una sassera, and she would spin this, put the tomatoes in there and spin this thing around, and it would remove the seeds and the skins, and then she would make her tomato sauce out of it. And Dr. Gundry said that the Italians have always known that you have to remove the skins and the seeds from tomatoes, otherwise they're irritating and they can make you sick. Same thing with peppers. My mother used to par cook them somehow, and she took the skins off and she took the seeds out and then just ate the actual pepper, and apparently they knew that these things were irritating. I didn't know it. So read up on these things and teach yourself as much as you can so that we can have the best health. The majority of the things we know, it's just hard to give up these wonderful foods that we love, especially the ones that have gluten, like all the delicious desserts and pizza and breads and pasta. I'm thinking everything in moderation. And fruits, I have always eaten a ton of fruits, but apparently fruits were eaten way back in our history of humans during the summer. Fruits were plentiful so that we could fatten ourselves up for the cold winter months when there wouldn't be any fruit, and the sugar would fatten us up. But now we have fruits around us, and every food, thank God, we're very lucky, especially when we see what's going on the world stage. We have foods around us, so we have to just eat in moderation, not overdo it, and see what happens to our health and observe how we feel. And especially if we're people that don't think we have any gluten intolerance or allergies to foods, how are we feeling? Are we feeling good? Are our joints feeling good? Even if you're a young teenager, do you have a lot of energy? How is your skin? All of us. It's not only for older people like me, it's all of us. How is our skin? How are our eyes, our bones, our joints? Because we are what we eat. Okay, we are what we eat. We've heard this. Hippocrates told us this. And so let's get healthy. And that's why I'm doing these videos. I hope you find them of value, and please check the like button, click the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends so that I can bring you more videos. I will do more videos in detail about these things, but if you read up on it, there are a million videos and a million books about this. But let's educate ourselves. We want to heal ourselves. We want to be healthy. We want to feel good and not have aching knees and aching joints. That shows we're inflamed. We don't want to be low energy. We want to feel flexible and healthy, and we want to not have stomach aches after we eat or headaches. So let's educate ourselves and let's create our very best life possible. If you found this of value, please share these videos that I'm making with others. Please like and subscribe so that the channel can grow. And I really appreciate your attention and your time, and have a wonderful day. And when you're eating and preparing, think of these suggestions and let's get healthy. See you in the next video.